I fear I have to be social today. S'mores Pop-Tart. My current friend group of guys and girls. Are you here with on the border between friends and a relationship? Hello and welcome back to the Podcast Not Podcast, where I talk about anything and everything with anyone. And today I'm here with me, myself, and I, and we're going to be talking about my love story, love advice, relationship advice, how to keep your relationship together, especially if it comes to high school relationships or young relationships. So let's get into it. I also feel the need to apologize for the past several days of me not posting. It was not purposeful. I knew I had to film. I was watching the days go by and I was like, oh shoot, it's already day 5 and I haven't posted anything. But literally nothing has been going on in my life at all. You could probably see these flowers here in the back, and I posted about it in a short. But me and my boyfriend's 1 year was October 10th, which is such a huge milestone. And I guess that's kind of what I'm going to be talking about for this video. Not specifically me and my boyfriend, but I'm going to be giving you guys relationship advice while I get ready with you guys and just give you guys little updates, because I personally like these talking style videos. I know I have a lot of them and I've had people tell me to do less of them, but it's just something I like doing. I guess I could give you guys my love story, because I don't think it's something I've shared openly on the internet, and even like with my friends, I don't even think they know the full story. When me and my boyfriend became friends, I was actually in a relationship with one of his friends. And I know that sounds trashy, but it wasn't like that. I sat next to him in my social studies class and he was teaching me geography, which I absolutely suck at geography, and to this day he's like incredible with it. But anyways, he was the one sitting next to me helping me fill in all of my countries and states and things because I did not know them. And this was back in 8th grade. And then any of you long-going fans, in one of my life stories series episodes, I explained my breakup with my original boyfriend. About a month after my breakup was the 8th grade DC trip, which is also another video on this channel, one of my favorite travel videos I have on this channel. And that was the first trip where I think I started to like my boyfriend, but I didn't really have a full crush on him because I was just getting over a breakup. And it kind of felt wrong because, you know, I was just dating his best friend. I was like, oh, I don't like it. Like, this guy's my best friend. Like, I don't like him. But on that trip, I think I saw a lot of my boyfriend that I had never seen from him before. He is a very empathetic person and he's extremely emotionally intelligent. He ended up buying me s'mores Pop-Tarts, which is one of the main reasons that I actually really saw him. I grew up down at a lake with my grandparents, and she always had s'mores Pop-Tarts in her cabinet, and they were like old, they were stale most of the time, but it was like a core memory from my childhood, and I only ever told him that once. And he bought me an entire box and brought it to him with DC and ended up giving it to me so I could have it in our hotel room with the girls that I was sleeping over with. Throughout the rest of the school year, aka 8th grade, me and him were shipped constantly. People constantly said that we liked each other and that, oh, we should just go for it, and that my boyfriend wasn't making a move and that I wasn't making a move, and I just kept rejecting it. But then we had our first FaceTime call. And the funny thing is, it was actually with Liana, which, if you guys know her, she's my long distance best friend. She's on this channel a lot. She loves it here. She's always been so supportive. My first FaceTime with him was with her at one of our sleepovers. We were writing poems and we needed someone to rate them that wasn't my parents. So I FaceTimed him. He was up and willing. He listened to our poems and he rated them appropriately. And the second I hung up from that FaceTime call, Liana told me that he definitely liked me and that there was definitely something there and she could tell, and that I needed to go for it. Did I listen to her? No. But then that entire summer, I started going over to his house. I met his parents the first time. I met his younger brother for the first time. And I started getting close to this family before we were even dating. Over that summer, we FaceTimed every single night until like 2 in the morning. I'm sure our parents heard us. I would go to his house. My mom would drive me to his house, like no questions asked. I don't know why she did that. And at the end of the summer, he went on a a family vacation to like his cousin's house out of the town, and it was killing me inside that I could not tell him that I was literally in love with him. Like, I was head over heels for this kid, and I didn't know how to tell him because I'd never had to do that. So I was really convinced he didn't like me. But I told him over a FaceTime call. I think it was like 10 in the morning, and we ended up staying on the FaceTime call from 10 in the morning till probably 4 a.m. because then he had to go on his huge family trip, which meant that we couldn't FaceTime for a week, which was devastating. But he really validated my feelings. I told him, hey, you don't have to do anything with this information, but I just want to let you know that I like you. I'm not expecting you to do anything about it. I just want to let you know. And he took that information, and he didn't really know what to do with it, and he didn't even admit how he felt about me until probably like 2 hours into the FaceTime call, because I was just dissecting our entire friendship, and I was like, this is where I started liking you, this is why I like you. I'm not like, I was so in love with him, and I just wanted to get it out because it was like physically hurting me, and I didn't want to waste my time. And then our hangouts started to get a lot more intimate, I think. And 2 weeks into the school year, which at this point I was taking a secret trail behind the school to his house because he's like a walkable distance, and I was hanging out with him 2 to 3 times a week, hanging out with his family, hanging out with him. Like, I was pretty close with his family, or like on very good terms with his family by the time we started dating. And 2 weeks of the school year, we went to a fair, and it was supposed to be with our friends, but our friends ended up canceling, so it was just me and him and his family. And I ran into Bella, and she goes, oh, are you here with his family? I'm like,
we're waiting for friends.
I lied. But we hung out the rest of the night. On the car ride home, I made my move, which was so confident. Like, my first move was, he was sitting in the middle seat, I was sitting on the edge, and his brother was on the other side. I laid my head in his shoulder, and I was like half asleep because it was like 11 p.m. And he rested his head on top of mine. I was like, oh my god. That was my first move. And after that night, everything got even more intimate than it was before. We were like, we were really intimate, and I don't mean in like a like disgustingly touchy way. I mean like hugs and miniature hand holdings and eye contact from across the table or across the classroom, and waving at each other in the halls and talking to each other in school without our friends knowing, because we were just being super secret about it. And I literally felt like I was in a romance novel because I was basically sneaking around with my secret boyfriend even though we weren't dating. And then October 10th, I came over to his house, and that day I remember in school his friends had basically caught us. They were like, I know that Carly's going to your house after school, like you guys are obviously hanging out, like you gotta lie to us. And I defended him, and he defended me. We're like, she is not going over to my house, I'm not going over to the house, blah blah blah. But apparently his friend annoyed him so much that he went, yeah, she is coming over to my house, we are hanging out, because he was just sick of his friends being annoying about it. Anyways, he warned me, and then I lied to his friends for him. I was like, I'm not going over to his house. He was kidding. I went over to his house, and we hung out, and I think it was probably 6 or 7 p.m., and we were sitting in his room. We were just talking, and we were talking about what his friend said, and I was like, well, I explained this wrong, so I'm just gonna dub myself over. Basically, we had a mature conversation about it because he had been scared about the risk of losing me as a friend if we ever broke up, and we were talking about if it was worth the risk or not, and then eventually we both agreed that we really wanted it, and we started dating. And the first person we told was his best friend. And he was very ecstatic. And then I thought I told PJ, but I wasn't very direct, so I look back at the text messaging now. I literally just told her that I was actually hanging out with him. So all she knew was that I was hanging out with him, and she didn't actually find out officially that we were dating until a couple days later. And me and him went to school the next day after we started dating, and we didn't tell anyone. We didn't tell a single soul. Because we were like, we just wanted to air out. People will find out on their own. We don't gotta throw it in their faces. And within the first month, obviously, we went to homecoming together. Everyone found out. And some were surprised, because I guess we were really an unexpected couple if you weren't in our friend group. And the people in our friend group, I spilled all of my lies onto them and told them that I had lied about hanging out with him for the past, 6 months. And I think it's safe to say they were a little bit confused on how I did that, and they were a little bit mad because I lied to them, which is fair. But I really, really felt for him. And I was scared too, because the way from my last break, I hate talking about this like this because I feel like I'm so young, people aren't going to take this story seriously, but at my age, everything is so much bigger than it actually is in hindsight. So for me, these are big events. These are events that changed my life and made it the way that it is now. So with my ex-boyfriend, what was I saying? My ex-boyfriend was very much a middle school relationship. I don't even know if I can. It was 9 months, but the way he ended it, in a way, kind of messed with my head, and I definitely got a little bit insecure. He ended it with explaining that, he hadn't loved me for the past few months. And that was, groundbreaking. Because I was we hung out on Valentine's Day, and he broke up with me, I think, in March, early March, I'm pretty sure. We hung out on Valentine's Day. I made you this for Valentine's Day. We literally just hung out a week ago, and you're telling me that you haven't loved me for the past 2 months? Or the last month? I was that's insane. So, the first 6 months of my relationship with my boyfriend, I was terrified after every little argument and every little problem. I was he is gonna stop loving me, this is my fault. And I would just apologize over and over and over again, to a point where I was even getting annoyed with myself. And that was a huge problem in my boyfriend's relationship for the first literally 6 months, because I was constantly being overly insecure. I was being anxiously attached. I was obsessed with the idea of him leaving, or obsessed with the idea of him staying. I was obsessing over these problematic thoughts, and it was messing with my head. And then at some point, I don't know where my brain switched. It was after probably the biggest argument I ever had with my boyfriend, and I think the argument was we were mad at each other for 3 hours. I don't know if that's a bad argument to some people or not, but we definitely didn't sleep on it. We didn't sleep on the argument because I wouldn't let us sleep on the argument. I never let us sleep on arguments. I hated it. And I would push him to give me reassurance that this was fine, when he usually needs a night to get himself together, whatever. We were angry at each other for 3 hours, and I was sobbing because I was convinced that he was done with me and that this was the end of it. And it wasn't. The crazy thing is, the argument wasn't even about something big at all. If I were to give relationship advice for anyone in high school that is planning on lasting, because even if it sounds delusional to someone who doesn't know me and my boyfriend that well, I am convinced that we are going to last, because we have fought through literally everything. We fought for each other. We've chosen each other every single time, again and again and again. He is so emotionally mature in a way that I really need. And I think I'm very patient with him and giving him what he needs. And that's very important in a relationship, to have things that each other doesn't. Have things that the other doesn't, so you can support each other in the things that you lack. And I would say that sometimes arguments do need to be slept on. I always pushed needing to talk about the argument in the moment, but that usually ends up in saying things that you don't mean in arguments that are so unbelievably unnecessary. And it's just sad. You don't need that negativity ever at all. Which is why I think it's so ridiculously important to communicate. My thing has always been communicate, communicate, communicate. I often find myself wanting to hold back like my emotions or my insecurities because I don't want to bother him with it, and then I have to remind myself that if I keep it in, I'm gonna take it out on him. So even if he's busy, I'll just send him a quick text, hey, I'm not feeling good today, I just need space, or hey, I'm not feeling good today, I need a little bit more reassurance. And if he's frustrated over something, he'll tell me like, okay, I'm mad right now, like I need space, I need a second. I'm like, okay, that's fine, thank you for letting me know. Like sometimes that's literally all it takes is communication. Communicate, communicate, communicate. It's okay to go to bed angry. You just need to remember that they're always going to be there for you. And that this is not over. This is not over. Do not let that get in your head that, oh my god, we just had an argument, he's ending everything. Like, that's not how it's going to work, I promise. If he's the right one, it will work out. It will always, always work out. Always. I have never once been treated with disrespect from him, and I don't condone any disrespect from any man, because that's ridiculous. If you are getting disrespect from a man, it's not normal. Especially your boyfriend. He should not be giving you any form of disrespect. Get out of here. I think a really important piece of advice for any couple out there is do not get your friends involved. And I mean that wholeheartedly. Like, if you and your boyfriend or you and your significant other are having an argument, do not get your friends involved. Don't tell your friends about the argument. Don't ask for your friends to side with you. And that goes for the other partner too. Do not ask your friends to side with you in an argument, because it is not you against your partner. It's your partner against whatever the problem is. And I know that's corny and that's basic, but it's the truth. That advice is overused because it is so true. Do not get your friends involved, because often your friends will blow it out of proportion. No one knows your partner the way that you know your partner, and sometimes they say things they don't mean. I've definitely said things I did not mean to my boyfriend that I regret still, but I apologized and I understood my mistake and I learned from it. Relationships, you're supposed to bring each other up. Always, always, always bring each other up. He has brought me up in every situation ever. I learned baseball for him, so I would actually understand his games, even though I grew up around baseball. My brother played baseball my whole life. I only ever learned baseball when I started dating my boyfriend, because I realized how much it meant to him. And he only started reading all the stuff that I write, because I read a lot. He only started reading stuff like that because he realized how much it meant to me, and he will read any of my writing and he will help me with it. And you just always bring each other up. He's the reason I've wanted to come here since 2020. He's the reason why I had the confidence to do it in the first place, because I had every other person going against me telling me not to. It is so important to get respect from your partner and to give respect. And I think dating in high school is perfectly normal. I actually kind of highly recommend it, especially if you're a lover girl. I am a huge lover girl. I know this sounds pick me. I feel like it sounds a bit pick me in this video, but I live for my relationship. And obviously I'm my own individual person, which is a whole other thing. Keep yourself individual. First 6 months, I was so intertwined in him. I felt like I didn't have any other life except him, and I was so scared that I was losing myself, and I was losing myself. And then I brought myself back up because he reminded me that I'm my own individual person. He reminded me that I have a personality, that I have a life outside of him, and I'm allowed to live that life outside of him. You guys are not intertwined with each other, especially when you're at a younger age. You need to also prioritize yourself, because you're still growing, you're still learning how to be you. Anyways, I think that's it for my relationship advice today. Might have gone a little bit off track, but I wanted to share my love story because I think it's kind of cool. Yep. Let me restart that out. Anyways, I think that is it for my relationship advice, for my love story. I wanted to share it because I don't think many people know it, and hopefully sometime soon I can get him on the channel, because he's been on YouTube before. I don't know where to, if you guys have any ideas on what video I should do with him, let me know in the comments and I will try to plan a video with him, because I think it would be really fun to film with him. Because I think you guys would really like him. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. I love you so much, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.